Hello students, today we are going to start our same chapter of accountancy, class 11th, and the name of the chapter is accounting principles. This is part 2nd of that chapter, and students, today we will discuss the remaining part of that chapter. So our first topic is dual aspect concept. What is the meaning of dual aspect concept? Dual means two. So according to this concept, a single transaction can affect two accounts at the same time. If one account is debited, so the another account is credited. This system is called dual aspect concept or double entry system. It affects two sides of the balance sheet, asset side as well as liabilities side. So in simple words, we can say that a single transaction affected two accounts at the same time is called dual aspect concept. Therefore, here the formula is applied: assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. For example, X commences with business with rupees 20 lakh. So 20 lakh is the capital of X. And X also takes loan from 5 lakh from the bank. It means that X invest total 25 lakh. 20 lakh their own money and 5 lakh from bank. And that 5 lakh comes under the heading liabilities because that is one type of debt. Total of this, that is 25 lakh. And total of 20 plus 5, that is 25 lakh, is treated as assets. So here the equation will be assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. The value of liabilities, that is 5 lakh, the value of capital, that is 20 lakh, and sum of liabilities plus capital, that is equal to assets, and assets of rupees 25 lakh. So here assets is equal to liability plus capital. It means both sides are equal from 25 lakh. The second concept is revenue recognition concept. According to this concept, revenue recognition concept is recorded at the time of particular period when the revenue is released. In simple words, when the ownership of the assets is transferred, that time the transactions are recorded. It means that for understanding that concept, let's take a simple example. For example, if we want to purchase a machinery but we don't have cash, so on 20th September we purchase a machinery on credit basis and we promise that we will pay on 2nd October. So the owner of the asset sell their asset on 20th September on credit basis. Now from 20th September, I am the owner of the asset. Before this, the person is the owner, but now I am the owner. So the transaction will be held on 20th September, not on 2nd October. It means that whatever cash received or paid is not valued. The actual fact is that when the ownership is being transferred, that time the recording will be held. So that is called revenue recognition concept. Here, one example is given that if a firm gets an order of goods on 1st January, supplies the goods on 20th January. It means that the order received on 1st January and the goods supplied on 20th January. So the ownership will be transferred on 20th January, not on 1st January, and receive the cash on 1st April. So when will be recorded the transaction? That is on 20th January. So on 20th January, the ownership of the goods was transferred. So on that day, that is called revenue recognition concept because revenue is recognized on 20th January. The next concept is matching concept. Matching concept is very important for determination of net profit. For matching concept, we will have to understand two things. The first one is cost and the second one is revenue. First of all, we will have to calculate what is the total cost of our product. Then the second thing is that what is the revenue we expect from the sale of that goods or that assets. For example, if we manufacture a product and the cost price of manufacturing is 1000 rupees, so that is cost. We want to sell that product on 1500, so that 1500 is revenue. So the actual difference between the revenue and cost is called net profit. So we only understand the actual value of net profit when we will have to know the matching concept. So for understanding the net profit or for calculating the actual net profit, we will have to understand the matching concept. And matching concept is very important for calculation of cost as well as revenue. The next thing is objective concept. This concept is very important because according to this concept, a transaction should be objective manner, free from the personal biasness of the accountant who prepares the account. It is only possible when the voucher or memos are attached with the transaction. For example, if we purchase a machinery of rupees 2 lakh, that time the shopkeeper will prepare a bill and mention the price of the machinery on that bill of rupees 2 lakh. So when the machinery comes in the business, that time we will have to do the transaction. We will have to record that transaction. And what is the value of asset? That is 2 lakh. How we will know? With the help of bill. So that bill is the verifiable documents. With the help of that bill, we can understand and we can find out the actual value of the bill. So there is no chances of personal biasness. That is objective concept. The second thing of that chapter, that is accounting convention. Before this we are discussing that is accounting concept. Now we will go to discuss accounting convention. Both are different terms. How they will different from each other. So here, difference between accounting concept and accounting convention. First, on the basis of legal position. Accounting concept have legal acceptance, but accounting conventions don't have legal convention. They are general agreement. Recording versus financial statement. Accounting concepts are basically based on the assumption, but accounting conventions are based on the general guidelines. Significance. The accounting concepts are uniform set of rules. It means that accounting concepts are same for every person. Accounting convention. These are not so important because it differs from person to person. The next one is role of personnel. In accounting concept, there is no role of personnel. Everybody has to follow same rules. But accounting convention is differ from person to person. It is based on the personnel. If the personnel wants to follow, that time he follow the convention. If he don't want, that he don't want to follow the convention. So it is totally depend on the staff. Uniform adoption. The accounting concept is uniform adoption of the accounting concept in different enterprises. It means that accounting concepts are same for every enterprises. But accounting convention are differ from business to business or organization to organization. There are mainly three types of accounting conventions are. The first one is convention of full disclosure. The second one is convention of materiality. And the third one is convention of conservatism or prudence concept. So first of all, convention of full disclosure. According to this concept, we will have to show the significant information in the books of account at the time of recording the transaction. It means that is necessary information that can be recorded in the books. That is called convention of full disclosure. Here, some examples are given that the first one is contingent liability. There is no place of contingent liability in the balance sheet. So, that is not presented in the balance sheet. But we will have to give the footnote for showing the contingent liability. We can't ignore that value. The second one is every business has to choose the value of closing stock or valuation of stock or method of depreciation. It's depend on the business. Any business can choose any method. But if you once choose the method that is mentioned on footnote that we are choosing that method, that is not essential for calculating the net profit or net loss, but it is our responsibility that we will have to show. The third one is market value of investment should be given by the way of footnote. Same as we will measure the book value, not the market value, but we will have to show the market value on footnote. That is not affected to our account, but it is our convention. Second concept is convention of materiality. This concept is also very important, and this concept is the exception of full disclosure concept. According to full disclosure method or convention, we will have to show the relevant information. But according to materiality concept, we will have to ignore the insignificant information. So, if we are showing significant information in the books, that is called full disclosure. If we are ignoring the insignificant information, that is materiality concept. So both are converse of each other. The next convention is convention of conservatism or prudence. According to this concept, all anticipated losses should be recorded in the books of account, but all anticipated gains should be ignored. Why? Because gains does not reverse effect, but losses have reverse effect. So if we consider our loss, that time we only focus on our loss, ignorance of loss. It means that if we focus on loss or we record our losses, that time we find out what is the reason of our loss. So we ignore the point that affects our business in negative manner. So the result is that our loss converts into gain. But we did not record gains because gain is the profit point, our positive point. If we only focus on our positive point, that time we ignore our negative points. So that is reverse effect of the business. So according to convention of conservatism, we only focus on negativity, and we will have to remove that negativity. After that, the negativity will convert into positivity. That is convention of conservatism concept. Here, some examples is given that closing stock is valued at cost price or realizable value. Whichever is less, we notice on that value. We notice not on the higher value, we notice the less value. Closing stock at cost price or realizable value, whichever is less, we noted that value. That is also one type of loss, and we focus on loss. Second one, provision for doubtful debt is created in anticipation of actual bad debts. The third one is joint life policy is shown only at the surrender value. The next one is provision for pending law suit against the firm, which may either be decided in its favor or not. Effect of convention of conservatism. The convention of conservatism should be used very cautiously, otherwise it will be two effects. if you follow the conservatism concept, that is good. But if you don't follow that concept, that two effects we will have to show. The first one is profit and loss will disclose lower profit, and second one is balance sheet will disclose understatement of asset and overstatement of assets and liabilities. That is not actual position. So for knowing the actual profit, or for knowing the actual position of the balance sheet, we will have to follow the conservatism concept. And according to the convention, from all the convention, the conservatism concept is very important. With this point, our chapter is finished. Now, with the help of next video, we will discuss our next chapter.